taubatan qabla al-maut wa maghfiratan ba'da al-maut. Allahumma hawwin 'alaina fi sakaratil maut wa najata minan nar wal afain min hisab. Allahumma 'afina fi badanina, Allahumma 'afina fi sam'ina, Allahumma 'afina fi basarina. Allahumma ja'al jam'ana hadha jam'an marhuma wa tafarruqana min ba'dihi tafarruqan ma'suma. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina adzaban nar. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun ala mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Amin, amin, ya Rabbal Alamin. The next agenda is singing the national anthem of Indonesia. Move on the following agenda, the welcoming speech that is going to be delivered and brought to you by the coordinator of English Education Study Program. To the Honorable Ms. Widya Noviana Nur MPD, the floor and the time is all yours.
Thank you, Mas Alfa. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, best regards. The Honorable Madam June, former lecturer, English Language Department, Institute of Teacher Education, Tuanku Bainun Campus, Penang. Dr. Sabitha Shunmuga Priya, Assistant Professor in English SNH Department, KGISL, KITE, Saravanampatti. The Honorable Ms. Rostati Toba, as a Head of Language Education Department with Sultan Haji Muhammad Idris Samarinda. And all the participants here. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let's thank and praise to the only one God, Allah Almighty, who has created us as human being with a healthy brain and mind, so we can understand the true light of the truth, that's Islam. Secondly, we do not forget to praise our beloved Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who has guided human from inhumanity to humanity, from uncivilized society to civilized society, and bring us to the right path to God. And also, I would like to embrace my deep thank you to all of the committee who has held this meeting with well concept. Today, I was representative of Language Education Department, proudly present the international webinar series, Growing Potency in Teaching, Learning, and Research as a part of professional development. Based on our concern, the world has changed fast. It demands us to compete with other professionals around the globe. As we all have known that now we are living in borderless country as the effect of the globalization era. Okay, by held this international series will give us a mutual impact to growing our potency in teaching, learning, and research as a part of professional development. So we do hope your coordination and your support for the successful of our program in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all my speech. Thank you so much for kind attention, and we ask our deep apologize if you find some mistakes and unwilling word in my speech. Look what he says, not who says. Once again, we invite you to join, involve, and build together as professional in teaching, learning, and research as a part of professional development. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Ms. Vidya, for your wonderful welcoming speech. Ladies and gentlemen, finally, we are jumping into the last agenda at this event, that is closing. Let's close this event by reciting Hamdalah. I kindly remind you not to go anywhere and stay still exactly where you are. And please turn your camera on because we are going to take pictures. Put a smile on your beautiful faces and pose creatively as you wish. Oke, teman-teman, saya minta tolong untuk aktifkan kameranya dulu. Slide kedua ini masih belum ada yang aktifkan kameranya.
Oke, slide 1, Mas Alfa.
Baik, kita mulai dari slide 1. Silakan senyum, pusat. Saya hitung 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Oke, kita pindah ke yang slide kedua. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Slide ketiga. 1, 2, 3. Wonderful. Slide keempat. 1, 1, 2, 3. Okay. The last slide, slide kelima. 1, 2, 3. Well done. Okay, there you go for the documentation. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get started with our main event, I would like to kindly remind you a couple of things. Number 1, please turn on your camera and use the official background, which you can download it from the description or chat box below. Number 2, make sure your microphone remains muted and not making any noise during the presentation until you have the opportunity. Number 3, there will be attendance form at the end of the event. Make sure you fill in the form in order to get and claim your certificate. Are you with me? Okay, good. Thank you very much for all your best attention. I profusely apologize for all my words and behavior as Master of Ceremony today. The next main event will be led by the moderator. Please welcome Ms. Rostanti Turba. The floor is all yours.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, MC. Mr. Alfa Ihsan. Nice to see you again.
This is you too, Ms.
kiri mana berarti? Kayaknya pas. Yang betul deh. Nah, ya.
Okay, good morning, everyone from Samarinda, East Kalimantan Province, Indonesia. Today, we are doing online with an understanding theme, growing potency in teaching, learning, and research as a part of professional development. First of all, I'm Rostanti Toba. You can call me Auntie or Rose. I'll be your moderator in this international webinar series. I truly appreciate everyone's efforts and time and highly appreciate those who attended this morning event, particularly for the speakers. A brief information for all online brothers, online participants, sister and brothers and students. Due to our Muslim brothers will perform Friday's worship today. Then I decided that the speakers make presentations in parallel. Hopefully, all online participants will remain enthusiastic and maintain your positive energy to attend this seminar until the end. Each presenter is given approximately 30 to 40 minutes to share their ideas. We'll open inquiries, question and answer session if we still have a time. I wish this webinar goes well until the end, as well as the two of the speakers are in this room by now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we turn to the first speaker from Malaysia, I will share a piece of information related to the background of the big theme of our webinar this morning. Currently, we have already seen that the young generations are different in their learning style and how they expect to be trained and coached in comparison to other generations. Then, either learner or teacher, we need a lot of development and always upgrade holistic skills to pursue an understanding of how our children or students learn and how to provide them with attractive materials, open-minded teachers, creative as well as collaboration. Through this webinar, I hope all of us will explore the rationale for global ideas, not only to teach, but also to educate students and teachers in different approaches and forms, as well as how this pedagogy or even andragogy develops lifelong learners. We share practical thoughts from the speakers on which teaching learning strategies can take place in everyday English for us, particularly in Indonesia, who are living in non-native speaking countries. Particularly for my institution, UINSI Samarinda, or State Islamic University, Sultan Haji Muhammad Idris Samarinda. Well, I'd like to greet the first speaker from Malaysia. Good morning, Madam Jung. Are you here?
Yeah, Assalamualaikum. A very good morning, Miss Moderator.
Good morning. Yeah. How have you been, Madam June?
Alhamdulillah, fine as usual, inshallah.
Okay, before we listen to your presentation, I would like to give a brief of your biography. Madam June is a former lecturer in English Language Department, Institute of Teacher Education, Tuanku, Bainun, Campus, Penang. Currently, as one of the task force IPGM for pedagogical capacity in deep learning, or known also as capacity pedagogi pembelajaran bermakna, as consultant and parallel to all 27 campuses of ITE in Malaysia, 30 years experience as TESOL lecturer and also panel of MUET or Malaysia University English Test. Madam June also expertised in language arts, arts in education, multiliteracies, multimodality, using resources in teaching ESL in primary classroom, second language acquisition, and grammar in context. And she also contribution in book chapters, research and modules such as research methodology, best practice strategies for more effective teaching and learning, CLIP plus classroom improvement program lecturer, Let's Write Together Volume 1, Let's Write a Book Together Volume 2, Adventures in KPPB Hall of Our Treasures for Student Voice Book, and still on progress, Adventures in KPPB Defined in Reality for Student Voice Book Volume 2. Wow. So cool, Madam June. Okay. Now we are glad, we all are glad to have you here. And kindly you can share your ideas about 30 to 40 minutes. And time is yours, madam. You can share your screen yourself or we will help you.
Hold on, I think I need your help because just now I haven't tried. Can you present my slide?
Okay, okay. We'll share your screen. Mr. Azwar, can you help to share Madam June's material?
Wait a minute.
I don't know why I can't.
Just a moment, madam.
It's okay because I have tried just now, but I can't share my slide.
Okay, wait.
I'm sorry, but since you are a co-host, you should be able to share screen your presentation.
Is it?
You may try again.
Hold on, I try again. It's always a technical when it comes to presentation.
Okay, Mr. Azwar, can you please share the screen?
I can go.
Mr. Azwar, please try it.
I can present something.
Let me share from here, madam.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah. All right. Thank you. But can you do it as a slide shows? All right. Okay. Thank you. Okay. A very good morning and a very assalamualaikum to all my colleagues and to my friends in Samarinda. Okay, as just now the moderator was given about my background. I just recently retire optional because I have extra another work. So right now I'm attached still for my Institute of Teacher Education Malaysia, dealing with this pedagogical capacity for deep learning. Okay. For today's topic that I would like to share is about how this pedagogical capacity for deep learning in English as a second language gearing towards holistic learning environment. Okay, next slide. And what is PCDL and what is KPPB? And because I'm presenting in English, so I change it in English is what we call this pedagogical capacity deep learning, and in Bahasa Melayu we call capacity pedagogy pembelajaran bermakna. Okay, what is actually this KPPB or PCDL actually being implemented in our all 27 campuses in Malaysia? Is for our training teachers. Okay, next. Okay, this pedagogical capacity for deep learning is the process through which an individual becomes capable of taking what was learned in one situation and applying into new situation to create new learning, new knowledge. And this PCDL is closely related to real life situation, not just involved in teaching and learning in the classroom. Okay, next. Okay, actually this educational initiative adapted from this new pedagogy for deep learning from Michael Fullen, and along with other relevant sources in the context of Institute of Teacher Education Malaysia. And this initiative, we have 5 models that we have been implemented throughout for all the students, for our future teachers in 27 colleges. We have been implement this PCDL, or we call that KPPB, for all the courses that been how to say, they took throughout every semester. Okay, next. Okay, these are the 5 models in deep learning. We have deep learning, student learning models actually, and the 6th one here is the global 6 global competency actually adapted from Michael Fullen, and the 3E here, engagement, extension, enhancement, actually from LISCO. Okay, and the last one, rigor and relevant framework, actually we adapted from Board of Leadership. Okay, next. Next slide, please. Hello. Can you move to another slide? Okay, what is actually the deep learning? Traditionally, what we have to do, what we have done during our lectures, always all that, another word that I can summarize is like called spoon-fed to our students. Okay, like everything, we have to have all the notes given to them, and then compliance-oriented student is receiver of knowledge and also learning in personal, but then when we apply this in our teachers training campus, so students lead, and also the teachers has a, frame it together what they want to learn in future, and what actually for this semester, for example, what they want to learn from our paper or our courses, and currently student to the real world authentic problem solving, because they are future teachers who are going after 5 years with us in the campus. So we don't want them to be very stereotyped, just to, just follow when they go to the school, they post into a new environment. they just follow what they have to, like using only the textbook, because our student not specifically will be posting to urban area, but sometimes they will be posting also to remote places also, rural areas. So this is the thing that we want them to adopt with what they have learned in our campus, what we have fit them in the campus, so they can bring in the real life in future to adapt whatever situation they have to face, so they can accommodate, they can accumulate whatever things that not just, okay, this is the thing that we learn in the campus, so this is the thing that we have to do it. So we want them to have this different view, as they are actually what we say, the future teachers who are going to build our next generation. They are going to teach our young learners in future, okay? And student is an inquiry and builds knowledge. They not only get the information from what they learn in the campus, but they also have to build their own knowledge, and learning connect meaningful to student interest and voice. This is a very interesting, because during our time when we are teaching, even during my time when I'm studying, I only get the message from my lecturers and that's it. And sometimes we seldom give let the student to voice up what actually we can have from what they learn from us. But based on this deep learning, and we actually build up their global competencies such as critical thinking, creativity, citizenship, characteristic, communication, and also collaboration. Okay, and deepen human desire to connect with others to do goods. And also now, as just now, our Miss Moderator was said that their learning style, okay, their learners' development globally now. So we can't deny what is happening nowadays. Actually, what we can say, if we want to look on what happened to globally about this COVID, but actually it's like a sudden attack not only to the student, but to all the educators all over the world, how we want to connect with our students. So that's the part that actually we become more, we have to explore, especially the teachers in the school, and we as a lecturer in the university or in higher education, how to deliver our lesson or our lectures. So of course, digital as a connector or amplifier to this situation. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, just now actually I've been explaining already what is deep learning. There's a connecting student with the real world, as I told you earlier, is what actually our student. And nowadays in Malaysia especially, we still have this, although we have face-to-face classroom already, it is open, all the students have to go to school, but still we have this, hybrid, how to deal with the environment. And I think it's a worse, because for today I won't share about how the data that we collect for this process, but only I'm sharing about what actually we have done to accommodate our students to be a teacher in future. And some of them actually graduated already and posted already to a few schools around Malaysia. Okay, the real world. We want them to connect the real world. So we come up with our own courses in our campus, whatever courses, whatever major they are. So all of them have to gone through this process. Okay, the role of student. Last time, like I said just now, we only, as a teachers or lecturers or educators, we only give them the ideas. We only just assign them to do assignment, for example. But now, based on this capacity pedagogy, this pedagogic capacity for deep learning, we allow them to be co-designer and also the co-learners. Why we do this? Because sometimes if all of you are taking education, or maybe you know what is the theory that we learn throughout to know who are our students, right? We learn about Vygotsky, we learn about Gardner, and we know so many theories that actually how we related that to students. We have multi abilities, they are very students actually need to know. We never cut off them to just voice in the classroom, but this deep learning we allow them. For example, for my subject previously, we allow them to give suggestion what they want, rather than I put them here, okay, you have to follow this one, blah blah blah. But then I'm thinking, because my student have, for your information, our student in Institute of Teachers Education throughout Malaysia, they are selected students, and they came in with a cream result. So we don't want them, their genius, their talent, their excellency, just we stop them. So we allow them to share what they want to explore more in their process of learning. And they also can design their lesson through with us based on the courses that they have been, take or they have took for that previous semesters. Okay, the key determinants of meaningful learning is the acquisition of new competencies. That's what we want them. We want them to build up their competence, not actually we push them, because for example, in one lecture we have 100 students, and we know some of them actually not, they have their own talent. So let them, we let them to voice up in a way, okay, what you want, if, for example, we have the task they have to complete, so we will ask them what should they want to do for this particular task that we have share with them or assigned to them. Okay, build their skill, their knowledge, self-confidence, and self-efficacy through inquiry. We allow them again to have their self-confidence, because they are the one that we are bringing them in future to teach our young generation. Because nowadays, sometimes we can hear, we can know, I think all over the world, the young age at 1 year old, kids can just swipe their handphone, right, to watch movie. So how this they want to accommodate their life as a teacher in future with this new life, with this new environment, because of actually in the way we actually how to say, COVID is really a mass disasters to us, but in the way actually giving us a task, to think what should we do in future for our education. Okay, it's also involve high cognitive process to achieve deep understanding. Sometimes we lecturers also, when we take our have to teach whatever subject, we just go through what we have to do for that semester. Okay, that's the task that the student have to complete, and towards the end, the assignments submission done, and then we key in the marks after the exam. But what they learn throughout that semester, based off our subject, do they have to just complete their assignments and get their marks for their task, their paper, or that the things that they learn from our course, do they bring to the real world in future when they are to be a real teacher, inshallah. Okay, student as problem design. Okay, what could be? This is the thing they will ask us. So based on this deep learning, actually, this is something that we always allow them. Okay, what happened? We allow them to think like that, rather than we, okay, listen to the notes that I give, and there's a task that I give to you, complete it. No. So we have this tutorial that they will allow them to voice up. That's the thing that we can see our student is more, the class is more challenging. The class will be more happening, because we allow them to think, and then we allow them to get more information rather than we give all the information to them. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, actually, this is a recap from the 6 Cs. It's actually enabling to create from what has been learned and applied in new situation, especially in this ever-shifting and complex universe. Okay, next. Okay, this is what we call another thing in this deep learning about, okay, how about the concept of interdisciplinary learning? This interdisciplinary learning, actually, we interdiscipline for can you go for the next slide? Okay. This is one of the example, okay, for the semester year 1 students, the interdisciplinary models that we have gone through. What is actually interdisciplinary? Actually, the interdisciplinary, we combine 2 or 3 courses, not only from my department, but this one, the example that I'm given today is only my department, but we also interdisciplinary from different departments. For example, the paper, we have education papers such as what we call that, psychology, you know, the students have to, there's a generic paper that they have to take to complete that semester plus the major paper. So for this semester, for past this semester, I show you just a 2 subject that we interdisciplinary. For example, for 305, the paper is Arts in Education. Actually, it's my paper. And the other one is Principle and Practice English Language Teaching. So throughout every semester, our students have to prepare the task. For example, my task, we have 4 tasks in my arts education. In every task, they have, when we look back, usually they have to do the presentation and another paper. For example, for that semester, for my department, the student, the major paper, we have 4. Major paper, and we have another 3 from education paper that is a must for them to complete for every semester. So when they come and we study and we see that student was like telling me, Madam, why we are doing the same presentation when we look back for the other presentation that we have to prepare, actually it's the same thing, and the theories that we learn from both papers actually is connected. So from that, before this, actually, that's a normal routine in our campus throughout Malaysia. My paper, I would do my paper, the task that they have to take, they have to complete it, and the other lecturer have to do the task, and towards the end, that's it. So based on this interdiscipline for this deep learning, we come out. So before that, the lecturers have to sit down first. We have to come out and sit down where is we call the CLO, course learning outcome, in every papers that connect to each other, where the students can integrate in their embedded during the presentation or during their, the task that they have to do for both paper. For example, this paper, and we come out with the TBI is actually the big idea from both the lecturer actually to sit down first. We come out with the TBI, the big idea for both papers. We connect to hit the both paper, courses. Okay, from this paper, actually, we come up with this creativity as the basis for quality language and teaching and learning. And my paper, we have essential question. Actually, essential question during my lectures, I triggered them based on the topic. What they learn, what they should get from the this topic. Last time, no, I went through the lectures. I just, okay, this for today, I'm teaching this topic, for example. Now we are doing this, blah, blah, blah. But this, based on this deep learning, after 4 years, we can see the progress of our students. You know, they have to think first. They have to come up with the ideas, not only based on the topic we give them. And they know what they are going to learn, what they want to gain more based on the topic or the courses they are learning. Okay, next. Okay, for example, this a course learning outcome. For my courses 3052, this is course learning outcome 4, and for the other, my friend's paper 3033, this course learning outcome 3 actually connect to this interdisciplinary. So rather than they do two or three presentation, but this one, they only do presentation for one presentation, but they actually presenting for two papers. So for example, my paper, they need to, they have to do the present arts education activity using the performance kits. They have the performance kit before this, they have to prepare in task 1 and task 2 for teaching and learning but they have to present what they are doing. Before this, for me, very open. They can just present it in what way they want. So I will have very haywire in the first place, because they really do not know where to go, what to do in the first place. But when we have this interdisciplinary, they have to think another part. They present the underlying principle and general characteristic of the Malaysian primary school English language syllabus in group. Okay, this one, both are in group. So what we put there, C6A to PLO3, actually related to what requirement for both paper. So this is what we call from deep learning, and this is about what the 6 C's coming in. They have to be very critical. They have to be very creative, because this thing have to they have to think many times before they present, how to accommodate, how to embed it, both paper in one presentation, and how to, because even though they have one presentation, but both lecturers assess them through the requirement for each courses. Okay, next. Okay, this another paper, another interdisciplinary learning. Okay, children's and literacy, teaching of reading and writing skill in primary is at ESL classroom. We come also with the idea, everything, and you see, this is lesson planning. Okay, prepare 60 minutes lesson plan to teach the reading and writing skill in primary ESL classroom, and this 3 to 40 to designing assessment tool. So individually designed to assessment, because it's related actually. When we look back, some part actually related. Of course, before they plan the lesson plan, they also need to have what actually they do going to assess during their lesson. So this is actually a very very good in the way, because they're not thinking about one courses at the time, but now they have to think 2 or 3 courses at a time. Okay, and they are become very mature in thinking, and I can say that we have successful have groom them, not only the students, and also the lecturers in all the campuses. Okay, next. Okay, this is the global competencies that I have shared with all of you. We have citizenship, we have creativity. Of course, throughout every semester, throughout the papers that they took for that past semester or recent semester, when they come out with the assignment, when they come out with a task or a tutorial, of course, the creativity have to come in, and critical thinking, not only because if during last time, some of them, not to say many, but some of them can just, okay, the assignment will be the same like our seniors, no more. So now it's totally different. They can't share the seniors papers, or they can't take out others papers that, I mean, the seniors to share with that. No, there's no such thing anymore, because they have to look, because now we come up with a different task, new one, not to say new actually, we come up with to adapt and with this deep learning and communication. Of course, during the process, as I told you earlier, the communication, sometimes we just give lectures, blah, 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 blah. That's it. After one hours, that's it. But this communication, they have individual, they can contact us, they can come to us either in email or WhatsApp. Okay, we allow them. They can come and say, okay, madam, okay, doctor, I think I got the idea. Can I share with my colleagues? That's the thing we want them to be. Okay, collaboration. Of course, they have to collaborate not only with lecturers, students to student, but also lecturers, but we allow them to collaborate with outsiders or expertise from different country also related to the courses that time. Okay, character the character, we build out their character to be a very positive, you know, to be a very resilient, to be a very strong characters, because this is a thing to bring them in future when they are teachers. Okay, next. Okay, this is actually I adapted from Michael Fullan. Okay, in reference to deep learning, Engage the World, Change the World, dive into deep learning tool for engagement is one of the book that we are referring. Okay, global competence actually include the acquisition in-depth knowledge, understanding of global and intercultural issue, the ability to learn from and live with people from diverse background, and the attitudes and values necessary to interact respectfully with others. And competency consists of a set of multifaceted and multidimensional capacity that consists of attitudes, values, knowledge, skills, and ability about self and others. For example, compassion, empathy, social emotional learning, entrepreneurialism, and related skills are required for high functioning in a complex universe. Okay, actually I've been explaining what is actually happened in these competencies to our students, future teachers in our campus. Okay, next. Okay, this the correct 6C. Okay, I just put in here. Maybe if you want to see my slide, I will allow you to take my slide. Okay, this is actually the explanation of the 6Cs. Okay, character just now, if I told you, citizenship, a global perspective. They are not only looking at the small. Okay, we are like my students. They are going to be an English teacher. Or is it just in the classroom they are only English teacher? No, we want them to go more. We want them to look on the global, no, look the others country or the others or the nearby. How actually the English have to build out in our study in our new generation. If they are lucky enough, they are my student, they can get, if they are being posting in urban area, they are lucky because most nowadays Malaysian town urban modern parents, they English as a spoken language at home. But how about the student in the rural or remote places? English only on that particular days, on that particular hours they learn English. So we don't want them just, okay, that's an English teachers. And for your information, sometimes they were scared of English teachers, especially for the rural or for the rural and remote. English is very difficult. That's why. So we try to make our students to be very happening, you know, to build their character. They can accommodate. They can have this how to say they have the passionate, no, to teach English in this type of places. Okay, citizenship, just now I say a global perspective, not only looking on their classroom, but they have to bring outside of the classroom what is happening in the world, not only just focus on the textbook, but they have to get more information to make the class happening. Okay, collaboration, as just now we share, of course we have collaboration, and now also I'm having a collaborate with the university. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, the communication, the creativity, as I explained just now, also the critical thinking. Okay, next. Okay, this is one of the model, okay, that we implement. Okay, student learning model, they have learning to learn, as I said, relationship and aspiration. Okay, how it actually, this actually student learning model, how they learn, that's the thing that I've been explained earlier also. We're not allowed, we're not saying that you cannot be a, you just be a listener to us, not teacher-centered, not teacher-centered anymore in the classroom. We allow them to be both student and teachers centered. So learning to learn, they are actually become their co-learners, also co-designer. We also sometimes can be co-learners, and they are our co-designers. So they create their environment, their studies in our classroom. So what they are going to do for that particular topic, for what they are doing, something to share with us. Because sometimes, for example, my paper arts educations, there's a part that I have to teach arts drawing in my class too, because we have by God's key how to learn English, through arts, whatever, to make lesson interesting, for example. In the way, some part I also don't have an idea how to draw, but when I'm teaching throughout every semester, past semester, I can sense that some of my students are very talented. They are good in drawing, they are good in doodling, and they are good in creativity, craft work. Usually I will show the example, but then when come to deep learning, come to the process of learning to learn, that is the part I can detect, and then they will say, Madam, I have our friend who are actually good in this. Oh, why don't you share? So in that particular part, during that particular topic, my student become a young tutor in front of all of her friend or his friends. And I'm also a co-learner, because I learn something new from my students. Okay, the expression, how they get the expression, of course, from us, from their parents, and also they learn from the globally, they go through, get the information earlier throughout. Now they everything at the fingertip, they can bring all the information they get with us, share with us. The relationship, of course, we have relationship through all of us. Even now, so I have relationship with the university, with Dina, starting to connect with me. So I'll be here. So that's the thing that we want our student to be everything, not just in the classroom. So they can go more. Okay, next. Okay, this is the thing that I explained. Okay. Relationship to harness effective and collaborative synergy for fruitful result and improvement. Student, teachers, lecturers, and other agents relevant blend into achieve greater shared goals. Okay, next. Okay. Injection the inspiration and allowing students to withhold aspiration, what are the goals and desires to be achieved in the context of education. So they are not only, okay, just finish our task, assignment, complete it. No. So they have to go, what actually they learn from my course, what they want to bring this course in the real life to can adapt in their lesson when they are coming in future teachers soon. Okay, next. This is what I explained just now. They also the co-learners, they also the co-design. Okay, we let them experience, okay, self-directed learning and self-learning tools and techniques. Students are given choice of opportunity to manage learning that leads to self-learning, further advancing and interest in lifelong learning. Okay, next. Okay, this is the thing. We ask them to reflect, usually the metacognition, we let them to focus on what they want, what their strength. Okay, then we have the reflection, both parties, not only me, but their friends, among the colleagues, or the team groups, and then give feedback. Not feedback in the way, sometimes we will be the feedback like, okay, maybe you have to upgrade this one, rather than last time, okay, I'm the only one who will give the feedback, that's it. So they got the marks, that's it. But now we have both parties, okay? We are not allowed, we allow them to give the feedback because to improve them in what they are doing. Okay, next. Okay, this is another design learning models, what we actually doing. We have 4 in this deep learning also, this design learning model. We have pedagogical practices, we have learning partnership, learning environment, and also leveraging digital. Okay, next. Okay, these are pedagogy practices that actually we design, we create, plan, adapt, and refine, and also we apply. So emerging a combination of pedagogical practices and innovate practices, guidance by lectures help improve pedagogy practice. Okay, seek for gradual improvement involves multimodality. Okay, the interaction between different modes to convey meaning rather than just using language. Okay, function of course learning outcome. Just now the course learning outcome that we have the interdisciplinary. They were able to understand the course learning outcome and the big idea for each subject study in the courses. Okay, next. Okay, this one of the that I adapt from Michael Fullen. Okay, the pedagogical practices, the emerging innovative practices. Okay, all these the teachers need a wide repertoire of strategies to meet diverse students' needs and interests, and a deep understanding to proven models such as inquiry and problem-based learning. So it's really interesting. When we started in the first place, quite difficult for us to adapt, but towards the end now, we have gone through for 4 years already. Alhamdulillah, the thing is moving very good. Okay, next. Okay, the learning partnership. Okay, structured change, beneficial in relationship between student teachers, not only in the classroom, but we allow them, given the opportunity to build a network with people who are knowledgeable in their own expertise or fields. We explore, we create and apply knowledge in mutual and reciprocal networking relation as the co-designers and also the co-learners. And we learn from inside and outside the campus environment. Okay, next.
Excuse me, madam. We have still 10 more minutes.
Okay, never mind.
Your presentation.
Okay, next. Because the other is only the pictures. Okay, just now also I've been explaining about co-learners and co-design. Next. Okay, next. Okay, this is one of our, we call that learning partnership. We call expertise from outside. Okay, towards the topic that inside our syllabus or our courses. So we apply, they are the one to connect, not me anymore. Last time the lecturer will connect and the student just be a very passive participant. But because of deep learning, with this deep learning, we allow them. We have the connection, we have the networking first, but starting from what they want to, based on their subject. So what they want the speakers to talk about. So they started to connect the expertise or the person in charge. So they deal. So from that, we will look how they communicate, how this collaborate happen, and towards and how this coffee talk happen with this our guest speaker. Okay, next. Okay, this is another learning partnership. We have also with a Unicama recently invited my, last semester, invited my students to have sharing session after we have our invitation from Unicama lecturers. But then after that, looking at how our students organize on their own, so Unicama invited them to have sharing session student with the lecturers. Okay, next. Okay, they are not only sharing with students in abroad, but they also sharing among campuses to campus, okay? Because we have 27 campus, so they are sharing among them what they have learned, what they have done throughout the semester. Okay, next. Okay, this is another one. We invite Unicama again for this, because the topic that we are teaching that semester, ventriloquism, and it's in our syllabus. So rather than, because we usually, the lecturer in charge will just show the pictures, what is ventriloquism or videos. But this time we have a real person, you know, who practice ventriloquism in her lesson in Unicama. So next. Okay, this the one. Okay, next. Okay, in my subject, our subject, for all the subject, we won't ask them just follow the task, what they have to do, blah blah blah, and submit the assignment, that's it. But in part of the task, they have reflection to complete the assignment. But one of my students actually suggested to me, rather than, madam, you collect, because I have 108 of them, okay, for that paper, rather than you collect the reflections and just give us the mark, can we come up with the book? This is the thing that we want them to think out of what they are learning. In the classroom, just submit the assignment and that's it. But now one of the students actually trigger me in the way, rather than the reflection, submission reflection, can we do that as one of our book? So after what we have gone through, so after discussion, and this day we come up with the student voice book. So what they learn throughout this understanding of deep learning, pedagogical capacity for deep learning. So they come up with this book, and around 108 of them actually contribute as a book chapter in this book. Okay, next. I think that's it from me. Yeah, this is another learning partnership. Actually, I forgotten there's another one from Mexico. We have the during the pandemic online. After we have online learning partnership, sharing the courses, whatever things, and then we have alhamdulillah, we have study tour. All my students actually, I cannot bring all, but I just bring a few of them to Unikama, and we have face-to-face with the Unikama. Alhamdulillah. Okay, next. Okay, okay, this is the thing actually I've been doing just now. Next. Okay, next. Okay, the leveraging digital, this is the thing. Of course, now whatever happened is online, right? So all these things they learn and they use in our lesson, they use in our their lectures. Okay, next. Okay, we have the engagement, announcement, and attention to this deep learning. What they have to do during the process. Of course, all these things have to be implemented in their lesson. Okay, next. I'm finishing already. I won't read all these things. Okay, next. Okay. Okay, next. This is the 3E, the extension, okay. Lifelong learning, of course. Real life connection, of course, we have global issue. We not only in the classroom is only, but the interdisciplinary learning actually involve all, okay. Discovering, sharing, creating, and using knowledge with communities, such as learning partnership just now. Okay, next. Okay, this is actually the explanation. Next. The 3R, okay, how we are going to build their character. Okay, are they a good teacher in future? Are they only a passive teacher in future? Okay, this is a thing actually we try, we help them. We try to build them, okay, to have all these 3R models in how they are going to apply in future. Okay, next. Okay, aim to achieve high cognitive level based on revised, okay, Bloom's taxonomy and application and relevant. This is what we actually doing. It's rigor and should be relevant, okay, related to the contemporary situation, interests, and capabilities and the needs of the students. Okay, next. Okay, rigor and relevant help students become complex thinker. Relevance helps students to see the values of what they are learning, and rigor ensure they are challenged to develop advanced skill and knowledge. Okay, next. Next. Okay, this is what happened in the classroom. Okay, they are not actually dealing with with us, with me only, but they also relate with outsiders and also their juniors, also their other mate courses. Okay, okay, next. Okay, education is not about studying and getting good grades, but preparing them to thrive in this complicated world with this global competency. To connect their knowledge, sustaining wisdom is about realizing potential, finding and sparking inspiration, the momentum of great learning force, the importance, power of creativity and arts in education and in life, building aspiration and dreams, harness valuable relationship, digging in long-lasting value such as kindness, empathy, and compassion, and so many more. Next. Okay, that's it from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your outstanding presentation, Madam June. For students, give applause for Madam June first. Okay, Madam June already taught us in her presentation that PCDL or Pedagogical Capacity for Deep Learning or KPPB in ESL, gearing towards holistic learning environment. And PCDL is the process through which an individual becomes capable of taking what was learned in one situation and applying it to new situations. PCDL is closely related to real-life situation, not just involve teaching and learning in the classroom. PCDL is an educational initiative adapted from New Pedagogies for Deep Learning, or NPDL, along with other relevant sources in the context of Institute of Teacher Education Malaysia. In this initiative, there are 5 models that are already implemented in Madam June's research in Malaysia. And thank you so much. After this, we will have the next presentation for Madam June. Please stay tuned for our next question and answer session after our last speaker. Okay, thank you, Madam June. Okay, now, good morning, Dr. Sabitha. Are you here with us now? Good morning, Dr. Sabitha.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning.
Okay. Can we know that what time is there now in India?
This is 6:55, ma'am.
Wow. Still early morning there.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Morning.
Thank you so much for your kindness, for being a presenter in our event today. But before you present your material, I would like to read a brief of your CV, because you have a very long.
Ma'am, do you want me to present at present now itself?
Yes.
Ma'am, do you want me to present now itself?
It's okay if you want to present yours.
Ma'am, I'm in walk, ma'am, to college. Can I take 10 minutes? After reaching my college, I'll connect and come to the line, ma'am. I'm on the way.
You have any other college?
Ma'am, I'm going to my college. There I can connect and sit to talk, ma'am, to give a speech.
Oh, okay. You still have.
I thought you will give the time at 8 o'clock, so I'm moving to my college. There I can sit and give the speech. No, that's why I'm moving. Within 10 minutes, I'll reach there.
10 minutes. Yeah. 10 minutes. Okay. Okay. Please, I will read your CV first.
Okay, okay, ma'am.
Okay, audience, participants, I would like to read Dr. Sabitha CV first. Her full name is Dr. S. Sabitha Shunmuga Priya. She is now as the assistant professor in English Department of Science and Humanities, KGISL Institute Technology, Coimbatore. Her specialization is skilled in Indian writing in English, communication skills, and English language teaching. She has so many education background but the last one is for her PhD on Research Center in English, VHNSN College, Autonomous, NKU, from 2018 to 22. She has many experiences as the principal and teacher at Little Star Nursery and Primary School, Virudunagar, in 2009, as assistant professor, Vivekananda College of Arts and Science for Women, Tiruchengode, in 2012, as head of the Science and Humanities Department, PPMM Engineering College for Women, Krishnan Kovil, in 2012, as assistant professor in NMSS Velai Chaminadar College Nagamalai Madurai in 2015, as assistant professor in VHNSEN College Virudunagar in 2018, assistant professor in English Department of Science and Humanities, AVS Engineering College Salem in 2022, and as assistant professor in English Department of Science and Humanities, KGISL Institute Technology, Coimbatore now. Her research experience is in full-time PhD researcher in ELT in 2021, and she has some academic development as assistant editor in literary journal coordinator of Tamil Nadu, Halapan Haldia West Bengal, president Halapan Holistic Education Forum Haldia West Bengal, and secretary of Tamil Nadu, Halapan Haldia West Bengal. She is also as a research resource person, invited and lectures delivered, usage of approaches and methods in school level teaching in 2015, active as resource person state level, acted as a resource person in taking grammar for a period of 30 hours in higher secondary school Virudunagar, has chaired a session in a state level student seminar on representation of women in literature on 2017. She also delivered the invited talk, one on the topic, A Room of One's Own, an echo for the individuality in the one-day international virtual conference, contribution of women writers to English literature. And she also gave a motivational speech on Youth Awakening Day titled Love Yourselves for second-year students of KITE Coimbatore in 2022. And she also awarded as the Best Women Researcher Award, received from Pancheri Research Institution of Management, Education and Science in collaboration with the International Intensive University, IIU Australia in 2022, and also the Best Teaching Faculty Award received from Pancheri Research Institute of Management, Education and Science in collaboration with the IIU Australia in September 2022. And she also, as a book editor for Amalgamation of Virtual Journey, an integrated and blended approach of faculties in flipped classroom, printed and published by Alapan Publication, Alapan Holistic Educational Forum Publication, Kolkata. And the second one is Cultural Marvels in Multidisciplinary Props, and also published in Kolkata. She has many articles published in books, in journals, in Scopus Index journals. She also has paper presented in national level, about 17 papers. Wow. Paper presented in international level, about 12 papers. And also World Record, assist World Record Research Foundation, the longest virtual debate in Tamil for 27 hours from 8 to 9 April 2022. She also has many organized programs, organizing secretary for the 1 hour program, co-organizing secretary for the 1 hour program also. In 2021, she has so many organized program. And then there are 5-day FDP, 7-day, 3 days. As a organizing committee member in 57 hours assist World Record in collaboration with TNT EU Chennai, and so many organized committee. Oof. Okay, while waiting for Dr. Sabitha to arrive in her college, yes, before we go on with Dr. Sabitha, for all audience participants, is there any question for our speaker before? Madam June, please. Okay, Azahra Muharma, please.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
First of all, thanks to moderator for giving me an opportunity to ask a question. And first of all, thanks to Miss Jurina for giving us her amazing explanation, her amazing materials. So Miss Jurina mentioned about self-confidence in deep learning. And in fact, sometimes we meet a person who can do something, but doesn't have a confidence to do it because they were nervous or they were shy. So how we as a teacher in the future help the learners to gain their self-confidence? That's all, Miss Jurina.
Okay, thank you, Azara. Okay, thank you for the questions. It's a very good question, actually. Not only you ask me, even my students will ask the same question. Madam, how to teach, especially, okay, as an English teacher, that's a second language for us. So how they are going to be a teachers in future? So how to build the confidence in teaching or to be in front of their own students? Even I think when I'm started to teach, I also lacking of this confidence, especially when I'm teaching the secondary students. Okay, it's quite big than me. For example, so based on this deep learning, how to create their confidence come from, we allowed them in the way to be the co-design or co-learners. Why I say, because when we assign them, we can see, as you see, when if you are, Azara, are you education, in education or in TESOL or what major?
I'm in English department.
English department. So for, I think for Indonesia, English is a third language. Am I right?
Yes, Miss.
Okay. So how to build this confidence is not actually easy in the first place. Okay. So what we have bring this deep learning in our structures of process of learning throughout a semester, for example, we allowed them to come up with their own ideas. So that's why we have this co-learners and co-designers, because in my class, for example, I have 100 students. There are multiple intelligences there, right? Same. So some of them are become very passive. They have, okay, if this group are presenting, I can do the work at the back, but not going to present in front there. So the confidence level, is it true, Azara? I think all the students face the same thing. So this is the thing that I built them in the way we allow them to voice out. Sometimes they cannot come they cannot voice out in the way of in front. We build their confidence by, sometimes they write first, and then among them we allow them to because we're looking on their strength actually. That's the thing. We are looking on their strength. If you know what is your strength, what actually you have in you, so the confidence level automatically will build out there. So in this type of learning process, as to be an English teacher in future, it's not easy to face the student, right? So the confidence level actually need to build up, okay, by practicing, and then among the colleagues also. And we in Malaysia, in our campuses, especially for English department, we speak English not only in the lectures, but automatically when we go out in outside the lectures room, even the lecturers from different department also will be talking or speaking with us in English. And we have this another program we call highly immersion program. So the student will speak English not only with the colleague from their own courses, but also with the colleague from different major. So that's the thing, we build their confidence. I hope that will answer your question, Azara.
So in summary, that we need to allow students to voice up by practicing and build up their confidence. That's how, Miss? Okay. Thank you, Miss Jurina, for the answer.
Thank you, Azara.
Thank you, Azara. Thank you, Madam June. Is there any question? Our online participants?
Alpha.
Okay, Ihsan. Alpha Ihsan, please.
Yeah, thank you very much, Miss, for the chance. Hello, Miss Madam June. I just recently I have finished my internship program in teaching secondary school. Speaking of deep learning, you already explained us before. One of the essential parts is student-led and teacher-friendly. But I found it difficult for me when I did the internship program. I found it difficult for me to implement this kind of deep learning, especially in boosting their desire or maybe their willingness to let themselves to learn. So what can I do, or maybe what should I do to boost their desire or their willingness in order to make this happen, in order to me to be able to implement this deep learning.
Okay, Muhammad Alfa. Okay, you are just finishing your internship. That means like practices in the school or what?
Yes.
Okay, so are you English from English department also?
Yes, I'm in English.
Okay, usually how you teach in the classroom? You are using your syllabus, right? The school syllabus, English syllabus in your school, in the school that are you going to the school doing the internship, or how is it?
Excuse me.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, a little bit better.
Can you hear me, Alpha?
Yes, I did. I did follow the syllabus, and I tried to make it as interesting as possible, and I tried to make it more interactive, not only focusing on me, but also I want to make it as a student-centered learning. But it's
Your connection is unstable.
to do that.
Okay, and is what we have actually done in our campuses, okay, or the 27 campuses. We adapt them, and we give them all the input in the way. So when they go for the internship, for example, they have a few classes that they have to teach, for example, okay? I think I've also having that type of environment also, right, situation. So when it's happened to our student, this is the thing that we want them, not only, okay, for example, I don't know about Indonesia, but Malaysia, we have year 1, year 2, you know, until year 6, because our training actually, we train them for primary school. They are teaching English in the primary school. So when they go to the school, they will have a pack of groups. Example, my student is actually from TESOL group. There's another group will be from Pengajian Islam, or another one from Pendidikan Seni, no? So what happened there? For example, they asked me, Madam, same question. What Alpha will ask me, how to make the class we become very happening, correct? Not only teachers give the input, the student just follow, and the class will be very, very dull. So I will say to them, I will suggest to them in the way, why don't you, English is not like, I don't know about Indonesia, but Malaysia, we always have the tagline, English is fun. But who's actually to make the English is fun? You, teachers, or the students? The student for remote places, they are scared of this particular BI. We call it Bahasa Inggeris, okay, when the lesson. So how my students to make this classroom happening, we allow them. That's the part we can allow them. Let the student, let your kids, your students in the classroom to participate in the activities. Because we know our students, they have multiple, what we call that, pelbagai kebolehan, with multiple abilities. So sometimes we're very shy. Even you students also, we can see, okay, after we are teaching, we can sense that, oh, this is a person or very quiet. This is the one who very happening in the classroom. Okay, but same goes when you go in the school. You will, I don't know how many students in your class, Alpha, during your internship.
It was 35 up to 40 students each class.
Okay, 45 to 46, so quite big classes, right? Yes, very big. Okay, so rather than you doing all the teaching in front and the others not focusing on you, correct or not? You cannot actually 45 to connect what you are teaching and on that particular time. It's not easy actually. I understood 45 to 46 students in the classroom with one teacher in front, and especially the English is not their language, is quite difficult, right? So what we have done actually, we allowed them, that's why we have the group. We assign the students who actually are, allowed them to team up or to come up with the, that's we call that code learners or co-design. So we assign the first group of 45, you can divide into 8 group, for example, 5 in the group, for example. So 5 in a group, you don't put all the good ones, but you mix them. So every one of them, they have their responsibility to make the lesson, whatever task that you give to them, more interesting. So they will feel that another come back to confident You know, the kids' English is not actually very, very easy for them. So when you put them as they become as a responsible, you know, so they will feel the confidence, even they speak the grammatical errors allowed them. Okay, we don't very specific to say, okay, this is wrong, this is wrong. No, teaching English allowed them to speak out. For me, I allowed them to speak. I allowed them to make mistake. Then only they will come. Then only they will come. Oh, they can recognize that. Oh, I made a silly mistake, madam. Never mind. For me, you learn from your mistake. Okay, Afa, I think is it answering your questions?
Thank you very much for your questions.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Madam June. Thank you, Isan, for your questions. Is there any question more? Okay, for Yulianti Mulyana, please.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And let me introduce myself. My name is Yulianti from English Department. So, hello, Madam June.
Hello.
And thank you for let me give me a chance to asking this for Madam June. So, I want to ask about for self-confidence that Azara asked before. For myself, like I already have that confidence for teaching, not have to not have knowledge. Like we feel that we don't have enough knowledge for teaching others. So, but we know that we can. So I want to ask, can you give tips how to be a good and memorable teacher in our first day on teaching? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Yulianti. Okay, you also gone through your internship? Have you?
No, I'm still learning. I'm still in college. I don't know.
Okay, what year you are now?
I'm in grade 5.
Okay. Actually, if I say it's not easy, okay, for the first day to be a good teacher, correct? It's not easy, okay? I think every one of us have that. It's a human, right? We don't have like, okay, I will be a good teacher in the first day. No, no such thing. Okay, we actually to be a good teacher throughout the experience and process also. So as you, I think a few years to go out, graduated, right? Then I'll go for the internship. So for what we have done to our students, not actually what we actually, not only my students and not only we, you know, the students actually, when the first day they come into the classroom, they have to have their own rules. Like we say, love language, right? But for us also we have English language in the classroom, or we have love language in our own classroom. Okay, because let them attract us in the way. For example, nowadays I can just give a simple example. How to start your lesson, and the student never, I think they will have wire, you know. When they, oh, young teacher, very beautiful teachers coming in. Example, that's what my student will tell me, madam. They just say to me, I'm pretty, so happy to have new teachers. But the class become haywire. So we have to have the rules. Okay, how we start the lesson in the first place. So I think most of the class, my student was always put, okay, put your fingers at your lips like that. And I say, you can just do for one time. Then after that, they will start shouting, screaming in the classroom. Your class management is out. So the class management in the way of your how you start your lesson, how you want to bring you as the audience in your own classroom. Okay, not as your not to say audience, as a a person that they want to, I can see a film star, the only film star in the classroom. The others are actually the audience. So how are they? How we want to bring them to the environment? So one part, let them, okay? You have the love language, as I say, not only just put their fingers at their lips, but you can create. Nowadays, recently, my practical students, okay? We call that practicum. We didn't call internship, okay? For us, we call practicum. So she was like a very shy student, very, 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 what can I say? Very, very low self-esteem. So I just say to them, and she will start crying in the first, when I come to observe her, she was telling me, I don't want to be a teacher anymore. Just for the internship, she don't want to be a teacher. So that's the thing that I said, oh my God, you have a few years to finish. So I say, madam, please, it's quite difficult. I prefer to be in the lectures room rather in the real situation. So how are you going to bring this type of students to in the classroom? You know what? The moment she said, okay, now I want to start my lesson. I'm teaching you English. Some of the boys, the kids, run away. You imagine, because English is not interesting actually in the first place, especially after we call that what PE, you know, physical activities before that, and then English. So I told her, you have to have your own, you know, that the student have to listen to you. How? So she said, okay, I have done. Okay, now everyone listen to me, put your finger at the lips. I said, even though I'm not your student, also I feel so bored, right? So we let them, in the way, we assign every one of them. Okay, this is one of example, allow them. We choose any one of the student, especially you call the notorious one in the classroom, to be a leader in one day. Okay, you assign that, okay, today I would like you to be a boss, for example. Okay, you have to control your friend to sit down and listen to me. So that's another one, right? We give them what we call that? We give them the opportunity to belong in the classroom, because usually the notorious, the naughty one, the teachers ignore in the classroom. So now we take the one who are not actually participate in the lesson, be the boss. Okay, you instruct them to be, okay, what you say, follow after me. Class, today I'm a boss. Today everyone have to listen to me and listen what my teacher say. You are the teacher, so he or he become, wow, he will be so proud. There's a confidence level there already. You write down the sentences, for example, let them read, you know. That's the thing. So start from that. Every day, every week, she changed the students, and she take take all the good, the notorious first. Of course, it would be a bit difficult to handle, but when you put when all the students in the classroom, or if you say 40 of them, they feel belonging in your class, they will be with you. So you, as the teacher, also will feel confident to have that group of students to listen to you. Okay, that's only one of suggestion if you can take it. Okay, that's it.
Okay, thank you, Madam June. So that what I get is like let them to give them opportunity like in the classroom, right?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Don't just let you only do the teaching. Let them teach you also. I mean, sharing. Okay, let them participate in the classroom. So student-centered will be there also. Not only teacher-centered. I'm not happy with teacher-centered. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Madam June. Thank you, all participants who have question for Madam June this morning. For Madam June, please stay tuned. We go on to our next speaker first. Dr. Sabitha, are you here now with us? Hello, hello, Dr. Sabitha.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I'm
Okay,
here.
okay.
Can you share my flight, ma'am? Because it is the system is not connected, so I'm coming through it. Can you share my flight? Already I
Okay,
have
we
sent.
will share. We will share your slides. Mr. Azwar, please. Okay, please, for Dr. Sabitha, time is yours.
Okay. Ma'am, can you hear me, ma'am?
Pardon
Ma'am,
me?
can you hear me? Can you hear
Yes,
my voice?
yes, yes, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you clearly. Please, time is yours.
Oh, okay, ma'am. Now I'm starting my session. I'm from Coimbatore, KGISL College. I'm Dr. Sabitha Shunmuga Priya. Okay, now my topic is the role of outcome-based education in teaching learning process. OBE, that is outcome-based education, is an approach for teaching and to get fulfillment of we are having an idea on what will be the future. The end experience of the education is pre-planned, and according to that, we will design a syllabus or curriculum that is the purpose of OBE, outcome-based education. The main purpose of this is each and every student will have their own aim, and they can select their course in their own. What's the need for this teaching is these approaches. In Priya type of education, most of the students are unable to express themselves even though after getting their good education. After their course completion, they used to say, I am jobless. I'm not able to present myself in well in the interviews. So there is a lack on the course completion. So thinking on that, the education committee of various countries thought that they should give proper education in the student point of view. So it is called as student-centered language teaching. That is, for example, the countries like Australia, Canada, Taiwan, Hong Kong, India, Ireland, Japan, Korea, Malaysia, New Zealand, Russia, Singapore, and South Africa, and more than that, Sri Lanka, Turkey, UK, Pakistan, and China, and USA also, they are started to teach this OBE from the year 2017, from the childhood onwards. From the school teaching onwards, they decided to give this outcome-based education. So this is the reason they give to the students. Now, in the introduction part, I'm going to say why it is happening. It is an effective measure of assessment students' learning, so that they must initiate what they are learning, why they are learning. So here we are giving rubrics of language teaching. So in this way, we will give the transparent measurement for the students as well as the teacher. So what happened now? For what purpose? In which way they can be government or an institution designing the curriculum, they have to have the things in their mind. What are the learning capacities they are having, the learners are having, what they had studied earlier, the previous study of the students, and according to that, according to the social context, they have to design the curriculum have in the mind. So after designing the curriculum, the syllabus designers also have some main points in their mind, because in a curriculum, step by step syllabus making will be happen. In each and every step of designing syllabus, the teacher has to think about, the designer has to think about what are the contents to be taught to the students in that level of education, in that level of teaching learning process. At the time, they have to give multi-dimensional view. What are the linguist knowledge they have to gain? What is the subject knowledge they have to be gained, and how they will act these things to the social upliftment. These things have to be in the mind while the syllabus has to be designed. And in teaching methods, it is a OBE method, so that the teacher has the freedom to select any kind of approach and method to be followed in teaching. So teacher has the freedom to select his or her own teaching techniques and teaching methods to handle the class. While entering the class, the teacher can decide what kind of thing can be used in the circumstance of the students. So after that, the assessment is very important. The assessment happen in open way, because each and every question has to be designed or framed according to improve the uplift of the students' knowledge and skill. So the question should be based on skill and knowledge purpose. And after getting the assessment, the teacher or the institution come to the conclusion what the outcome will be in future. This is the type of outcome of assessment. While making an assessment, a teacher can observe how he will be in future, that how he can apply his knowledge, and that how he can coherent with his knowledge with the skills development, and how he will be in social surrounding, how he can apply it in social surrounding. And after that, he will become a good citizen. For this, the teacher has to do this assessment in each and every part of classroom. He or she can give freedom to the learners to realize and to rethink their knowledge, what they are gained in the classroom. Okay, the next slide, ma'am. Ma'am, the next slide, ma'am. Okay. How the curriculum has to be, already I told that the curriculum designer, it may be the institution or it may be the government. It should have the clear idea on the previous study of the learners and the knowledge on learners level, because we may have common syllabus or common curriculum to all over the country, all over the institutions, all over the state. But the thing is, according to the social status and social circumstance only, the knowledge of the learners will differ, because the capacity of approach is differing according to the social status. So according to that also, we have to design the curriculum. Yes, and the syllabus and the curriculum should be designed according to the government policy, because in each and every year the government will have some kind of approach to the to get the social status of their own citizen. So according to the policy will be redesigned or verified. These things will be happen. So while we are designing the curriculum designer should have that idea on the government policy, what the government is expecting from the educational institutions, and a study on the need of the learners. So at the same time, because according to the social status and social circumstances only, the need of the learners will differ. In some areas, some learners will have the idea to get entrepreneurship, to develop their own business. In some areas, the learners will have the idea to get future jobs, and in some circumstances, in some areas, the learners will have to get higher education. So these kind of things, these kind of needs has to be studied earlier before designing the syllabus, and it should provide clear knowledge to the learners about the vision of institution and course, because each and every institution will have their own idea and their own policy to be taught or to be introduced among the learners. So the curriculum designer should have the vision of institution and the course, and it should be in blended teaching method. It will be very easy. In OBE, they have to give the blended teaching, the technology and the language, how it can be blended, and how it is possible to the learners to get knowledge. In some social status or some circumstances, the students may have the facility to have their own type of their own gadgets to access. In some social status, they won't have that. Institution has to be provide. So these kind of facilities it should give, and it should give roof for many approaches and method to teaching learning process. In some approaches, we have to take the children to the outside, and some approaches we have to provide a smart classroom. In some approaches, we need a classroom facility. So these kind of things has to be fulfilled by the curriculum designers. They have to point out what are the things can be available in the institution. According to that, the curriculum has to be designed. The next slide, ma'am. Ma'am, next slide. How to design OBE syllabus. Already we told in in OBE curriculum, the study has to be have the on previous study. Here, this is the first step. This is the first step in the syllabus designing. Also, in each and every syllabus design, the educator should have the knowledge on the level of student. Then only they can, then only the syllabus designer, because the syllabus designers are the subject experts. So the subject experts must have the previous level of the learners, and according to that, what kind of content they can provide to the students, that that they have to have in mind. According to that only they can give the content to the learners, because it is also according to the learners level, which is based on social status or in other from the other institutions knowledge. So these kind of things will differ the level of learners. So while designing a syllabus, the designer, the subject expert has to have these things in their mind, and each aim and objective should focus on the outcome. It's very, very important in OBE design. That is, if you produce a content to the learner, the designer should have a vision of future vision, like a profit. If I give this content, what are the benefits the student will get in his future? What are the job opportunities he will get? How he will approach the society in future? That kind of things the learners, the subject experts should have in his mind. And so each and every aim should have this kind of thing in the mind, and it should be applied. And concentration on topic section. So for each and every, after dividing the units, the subtopics should be very clear, and the designer should have the concentration on designing the subtopics, and according to the subtopics, that chapters to be designed. So it should have the coherency. It will it will increase the knowledge from lower level to upper level. So after designing this, having the unit separation, it should differentiate the topic for the physical and visual mode. In the syllabus itself, it should be very clear, because in the meantime, while designing this kind of OBE syllabus, both will get benefit. On seeing the syllabus, the teacher and the learner should understand what is given in the syllabus. So it should be very clear what are the topics, what are the chapters are to be taught in physical mode, or what are the topics has to be in visual mode. So after put the design for that, the subject expert has the next thing is differentiate the topic for synchronous and asynchronous learning, that is the visual mode and physical mode. After that, very clear in assessing, that is very, very important. In OBE, assessment is very much important, very much important, because that the syllabus, the main thing is through the assessment only the learner will understand how he will approach the society. Just in classroom we will feed the knowledge, and we will focus them to develop their skills, and at the next moment they will gain their knowledge. After that, we will assess the learners, what he is doing. The next slide, ma'am. Here, what is the institution's role? It is also very, very important. That is, we should provide the institution should give good infrastructure. It is very, very important, because it is if it is lacked, that the syllabus design or the curriculum design will be wasted. So it should be they should have the very good infrastructure with perfect lab, well equipped lab, that kind of things. And they should have the institutions should have the sufficient staff, sufficient facility, faculty members, whether they are teaching or non-teaching. They should have proper sufficient faculties, otherwise it will be a failure one. The ratio of the learners and the teachers should be very clear, and it should be appropriate to the policy of the government. It is very essential to take the OBE in their hands. And here we should give the importance to the feedbacks of the students also. Not only students, to the stakeholders. It is very important, because the thing is, our purpose of OBE is to get the result of the assessment. So if there is any failure in the part of any part of that, teachers or students or parents, it should be rectified at the next moment of receiving that feedback. So it is very important to listen to the feedback, and proper training should given to the teachers, because in the contemporary teaching practice, we will have lot of improvement in the teaching. So while we are giving the improvements in the teaching, the teacher should have been trained, and they should have been take the students, because they are going to face the learners, and they are going to take the learners to the next level of the society. So the teacher has all the responsibility. They should know about each and everything about the content, what is to be taught in future. So the institution should give roof to the teachers to take part in all the type of improvement knowledges. If it is provided by government, or if it is provided by other organization, it should give other. Likewise, that institution also give prior practice to the learners before entering into the classroom, and permit the students and faculties to take part in the outdoor activities also. It is very essential, because the main focus of the learning is education is to make them perfect citizen. It is very important. They have to be placed in the right way. That kind of things has to be done through the education. So in some education fields, in some educational institutions, they only give the knowledge and skill, but they won't take them to the take part in the outside activities, because they are thinking that education is enough for them. No, not only this kind of co-curricular education is also very important in this way. And give roof to the learners to do exercise their experience, their knowledge to the society. So that only we are having in India, we are having NSS, NCC, these kind of things. That through that they can other NGO activities also can be done. So through that, what will happen, the students will think how they have to be in the society, how they can apply their knowledge to the society, so that the institution have these things in their mind. The next slide, ma'am. Okay, how the teacher has to approach this kind of teaching method. They have the next already I told, while entering into the classroom itself, for example, while entering into BE computer science classroom, the teacher has the knowledge. The first year of that, they won't have that much knowledge on computer education. They won't have that much language efficiency, that is computer language efficiency, because in school levels, they will have 1 or 2 language to be studied in higher secondary level. So while they are entering into the first year, they will have that basic knowledge only. So while designing that kind of syllabus, the teacher should have okay, this kind of language were taught in the school level. So while we are designing the syllabus, this while we are teaching the syllabus to the learners, they have to get the idea. So what kind of approach I have to use, what kind of method I have to use, like that the teacher should have the idea about the learners. Okay, and then clear idea about teaching friendly to the students. It is very, very important in outcome based education, because the purpose is we are making the learners to be a good citizen. So so we should be very friendly to the learners. What we feed to the learners will be expected in future to us. Okay, if we are more friendly, and if we are if they are able to approach us, teaching friendly means that thing. If they have any doubt, they can easily approach to us. That is very important. They should not have the fear, or they should not hesitate to approach the teacher. So if we build a good relationship with the learners, automatically the doubts can be rectified. The students come forward to ask questions and update yourself in the various ways, because it is very important. Institution, in some cases I am seeing the institution is providing lot of opportunity to the teachers, but the teacher hesitate to follow that. They are not ready to attend a lot of webinars or conferences, because they are thinking they are not having enough time to do that. But anyhow, we are the responsibility in our hand, that we are going to uplift the future citizen, future generation. So we must update our knowledge through FDPs or webinars or conferences or other type of activities. So the teacher should have these kind of things. I am doing the best thing to the society, so I want to update myself with the technology and as well as the knowledge and skills. So I should be perfect in these things, then only I can take this to the learners. Like that, the teacher should have this kind of positive tendency in his mind and to do the thing. And the thing is, use various type of methods. What are the methods are available in the teaching methodology? That kind of things has to be updated to the teachers, and the teachers also can select the appropriate methodology to the learners, and make them useful to interest. There it is interaction. It is very, very important, because the teacher has the authority. The teacher has the authority how he has to take the class. More in OBE method, the teacher is having the responsibility to take mentoring or observing or guiding the classroom. He has the full rights and responsibility to take the class in the right way, positive way. So if we handle the interaction method in the classroom, the learners will have the capacity of thinking, rethinking, because it is very essential in OBE. Rethinking, modify themselves is very, very important. So it should be happen through the interaction method only. So the approaches or methods can be designed according to that. Observe the growth of every student. That is the main thing. Each and every class, the teacher should have the observing capacity through assessment or through interaction. Don't need to have the measurement methodology. It's we can, when we have the friendly methodology with the students, automatically we can come to the understand that how the learner, how the A is, how the B is, how he is taking the lesson in his mind, how he is developing the skill according to the knowledge what we fed them. Like that, the teacher can rewind him in himself, and he can approach the students with more information or more methodology. So this is the thing that teachers should have. The next one, next slide, ma'am. The learner's duty, because it is a learner-centered approach, the learners has the same effort of responsibility how the teacher was making, because for each and every class, the teacher is having a lot of effort to take the class. because while interaction or while preparation, they will have the pre-preparation methods also. For example, flipped classroom, they will feed lot of things, lot of asynchronous materials to the learners, and it will be implied in the classroom. That kind of things will happen. So to that, the learners also cooperate. When asynchronous method is given to the students, they have to take in a positive way, and they have to prepare themselves for that. They should have the clear idea of the syllabus, because they are only selecting the course. So according to the course only, the syllabus has to are designed. So syllabi are designed, so the learners should have the clear idea. While I'm entering into the course, I am going to get this kind of knowledge, this kind of subject I'm going to get. Through this subject, I will gain this kind of knowledge and skills. I can apply this in this type of jobs, or in this type of business. Like that, they have to get the clear idea about the syllabus. Apply your land knowledge often. That is very important. Not only to, in some of the institutions, in some of the colleges, the learners used to memorize all the things in their mind, and this is a big mistake done by the children, done by the learners. They will just memorize what they had learned, what is given to them, and they just had the tendency to score mark. It is very, very worst behavior, because the education is not only to memorize, it is to develop their improve their acquisite their knowledge, and to apply it in through the skills. So they have to test themselves, so that only many experience methods can be given to the learners. Try to compare compare the application to this, compare your knowledge to, and in the society. That is, after getting the knowledge, what kind of benefits I am going to give to the society, how they are doing from the earlier days. We are doing that only, so that only the grinder, mixer grinder, or a washing machine, or TV, or internet, or anything else has given to the society by this kind of thought only. So each and every learner should have this kind of thing in his mind, and to apply his knowledge or skill to the society's upliftment, and absorb everything in right manner. This is very essential, because in some cases the learners are thinking, why I have to study this, why I am doing this. That kind of doubt they are having. They have to rectify it. We cannot give only important to separate learner. In designing a syllabus, we will have some kind of ideas that this kind of knowledge has to be given, but the learner will have some interest in some topic, or they won't have interest in some other topic. So what automatically the students will do, no, they will concentrate on the interested topic, and they omit the uninterested topic to him. It should be avoided. He must have okay, these are the things I have to be learned, then only I can get the benefit of the education. So this kind of positive thing he should have, and he should be learning friendly. That is, whenever he has the doubt, whenever he has some problem with learning, he should easily approach to his peer or teacher. They are very eager, they are very helpful to them, the learners. So they have to think that if you have doubt, you can ask your peers who have gained more than you, or you approach your teacher. They are ready to rectify your problem. So you have to approach that kind of things, do that kind of things. Then they put in the interaction in the classroom. classroom. Some students will hesitate, some students will have fear to get the part in the interaction. So the fear should be overcome by the students. They should be ready to come out of that. It's very important in OBE. Otherwise, you will be in stagno mode. You will be in silent mode because this world is running fast. You have to come forward. You have to give an interaction. You have to give your point your emotion, point your knowledge, point your skill in the classroom. Then only it will be known to the people, known to the peer, known to the teacher. Then this is the first step. After that, you can take it to their family or society or anything else. It starts from the classroom. So you should take part in the interaction and identify your goal. You must while getting the knowledge of the syllabus, subject knowledge, we should get okay, I want to be shine in this field. Like that, the designer, the learner should have channel his knowledge in a right way. I'm having this kind of idea. I'm having this kind of knowledge. I'm having this kind of skill, because skill will differ to learners to learner. So he or she should have the perfect aim or perfect knowledge, perfect goal, what he got from his knowledge and what he developed, what kind of skill he had developed. Okay, check your outcomes to your of your learning. This is very, very important. Self-testing is very interesting. Then test by the teachers or test by the other stakeholders, that institution or teachers or parents. Self-test is very, very interesting one. What I had learned, what I had developed, is it any positive growth in me? I'm doing in the right way. May I doing in the right way? I'm going to the is it possible for me to face the society? Is it possible for me to get a job in a better level? These kind of things can be tested among the learners itself. It should come forward. The teaching should provide the roof for that. Automatically the OB is framed for that only. So the learner should give the cooperation by testing themselves. Self-test is very essential. And check your outcomes of planning. Put your own chart of your growth. It is very important. In each and every week, they can put a chart. In this week, I gained this kind of knowledge. Okay. Through this knowledge, how I developed my skills. What are the skills are developed? Did I develop the vocabulary skill? Did I have the competency knowledge? Did I have the language, other language skills are like sentence modification and so on. So can I apply my knowledge, whether whatever subject it may be, can I apply my knowledge in current life? Like that, they have to put a chart. When they have the confidence that I can apply my knowledge or my skill in my day-to-day life or in my society or in my family, this is the success of his learning. So here in OBE, the success of learning is focused. For that only, all the syllabus and everything, curriculum or whatever it may be related to the teaching is designed. So when the learner come forward to put a chart of his own growth through the education, only the education will get success, because it is learner-centered approach. The next slide, ma'am. The next slide, ma'am.
5 more minutes, Dr. Sabitha.
The next slide. Okay, responsibility for parents. This is also very important. Don't think that in the past level he was poor in this way. He was not able to focus on this, so he will be dull in future also. Don't The parents should not have this kind of mentality. They should have the positive way of thinking that my son will sign, my son or daughter will sign in the future world. He will learn lot of things. He is having the interest on these things. It is provided to him or her, and he will get the benefit of that education. Like that, they have to motivate the learners, motivate their children. Okay, and they should be very friendly to the children also. Then only they can come to know the problems of the children. What are the facilities they have to given to the children? More in parents' part, they are doing well, not a mistake. But anyhow, they have to update the knowledge about their children in positive way. They have to monitor their learning, how they are learning, how many minutes they are spending, how many hours they are spending to the learning, whether they are having good knowledge on the subject what they are learning. So even though the learners, parents may be uneducated or not educated up to the learners level, they can understand the feeling of their children, because we are parents. We know how the son, how his son or the daughter is. So they have to monitor their learning, and they should have the healthy interaction, whether they are getting the we can ask some questions related to the topic what is given to their given to them in their education. So whatever we know, like a discussion, like the parent may ask question by I want to know about this, I want to know about that, can you say a few words, can you share your knowledge to me to get the knowledge of that. Like that, the parents can come forward to have a healthy interaction with the children. Then only we can come to know how the learners are getting their knowledge. Like that, we want to give the learning applications gadgets also. And the parents should visit the children's educational institution often. Then only the teacher can interact with the parent, and he will say how he is improving, how he is growing in the classroom, how he is performing in the classroom. Because not only assessment, that summative or other kind of assessment won't show the talent of the students. Not only that, the classroom presentation is also very important to the learners learning environment. So the as a stakeholder, the parents should come forward to get the feedback from the teacher, because feedback is very important. The teachers should give teachers should get feedback from parents. I like that parents also get the feedback from the teachers, and learners also have to give feedback to their parents and to the teachers also. And whatever it may be, if it is negative, it should be rectified, and if it is positive, we can improve to the next level. That kind of things we have to give in this type of teaching. The next slide, ma'am. Okay, in this point I have to see, I have to give some more points. Most probably in assessment, we can do two things, because assessment is very important in the language, in any type of outcome-based education syllabus. That is, nowadays Bloom's taxonomy is followed in many countries, because it takes from the lower level to the higher level of knowledge, whether it is maybe knowledge sharing or language, skill sharing. So the assessment has to be that in that manner only. The teachers should, the stakeholders or the institution should give the rubrics to the teachers and the student, because the teacher or the people who are taking the education to the learners, and the learners are the people who are going to gain the benefit of the education. So it should be very transparent, so the rubrics should be very clear to them, and the assessment process should be in remembering, understanding, application, analyzing, and creating in this manner. That Bloom's taxonomy, according to the Bloom's taxonomy, it has to be in some institutions they are measuring it as K1, K2, K3. In some institutions they are measuring it L1, L2, L3. It's not a matter in in which type of measurement table you are putting. But the thing is, the question should be very clever and very clear to apply the knowledge of the learners. They have the learner should have the idea. While seeing the question itself, the learner should get the idea. Okay, this is for this is to test my understanding. This is to test my remembrance. This is to test my application. This is to test my analyzation. So these kind of things to be in the mind of learners and teachers also. So if the here the teacher's part is very, very essential. The teacher and learner's part is very, very essential, because center receiver, teacher is center and learners are receiver. The curriculum designers or syllabus designer institutions or government, all they are having their full product to them. The deliver will be happen in between the teacher and the learner. So according to them, according to their approach only, that OBE, outcome based education, will get success. The main aim is to be perfect. The learner should get satisfaction after completing the course. The learner should get the confidence after completing the course. I can do better. I can show my knowledge. I can show my skill in this way, what I gained in the course. That kind of positive energy he should get after completing the course. I hope I did well. Thank you. Thank you for your listening.
Okay, thank you very much for your impressive presentation, Dr. Sabitha. You get the point for your presentation today. It's about the role of OBE, or outcome-based education, in teaching learning process, where you have explained that the OBE approach is to solve the problem faced by the Oregon students, and it is concentrating on the inputs and outputs of the education. The problems of the learners have to be rectified to create a well-cultured and civilized society, as well as to get a better placement in all the ways of the learner's life. Very nice presentation. Thank you, Dr. Sabitha. Okay, now we go on to the next session, question and answer session. But since we only have 15 more minutes, because today is Friday, so some of our Muslim brothers will perform Friday's worship. Please, for our online participants, any questions so far? Okay, I have question in the chat box to Miss Sabitha from Azahra. The question is related to parents' responsibility. So there is still a lot of parents who are too ambitious to make their children to be great in learning process. And this makes the parents push their children too hard and being a little harsh towards them. The question is how the teacher could approach the parents to advise them about this kind of problem. Please, Dr. Sabitha.
Yeah, it can be rectified by making parents-teacher meeting often. Otherwise, they are having their numbers. Now the technology has developed. In America, whatever it may be, they will be informed through the email. So in the well-developed countries, they are using this kind of methodology. In India also, in school level, they are doing that. They are giving any type of information. Even the homework what they are giving in the classroom has to be posted to that parents' mail ID are in the WhatsApp group of the classroom. So while most probably the parents will take the mobile of their children, they can view the mobile of the children. So in that WhatsApp chat, they can follow what are the information given by the teacher. Otherwise, the mail is also supporting that teacher and parent to be connected. So it will be very positive. If that parent will have some kind of inconvenient or some kind of complication with their with their children's behavior, they can easily contact them in the through the email or through WhatsApp or through a telecall. So it is possible nowadays. The complication is rectified by the technology, digital technology nowadays.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sabitha, for your nice answer. Any more other question from the participants? You can raise your hand. Please for the others. Is there still any question? Come on.
If not, I will be close.
No other questions? If there's no other question, I will close this event, our webinar today. Thank you so much for the attention. Thank you so much for the attending online participants. And thank you so much for our presenters, our great presenters, Dr. Sabitha and Madam June. But before we close this seminar, would you like to open camera for Madam June to have documentation, please? Madam June, are you still here with us?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, okay. We'll have a documentation. Give your big smile, guys. Okay, one,
Not smiling
two.
anymore. I'm laughing already.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Next, okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, enough.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for our speakers. See you next time on the other event, hopefully. Hopefully this webinar will be useful for us.
If possible, we can share what we have done with all of you. Thank you so much.
Okay, this is our certificate for Dr. Sabitha, and for all audience, all participants, you can download your certificate in 2 or 3 days after this event in the link on the attendance list. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
wabarakatuh. Thank you, Dr. Sabitha. Thank you, Madam June. Nice to see you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. See you when I see you.
Okay, we'll close this. Thank you very much. Good morning.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Absennya jangan lupa ya, yang lain yang attendance list-nya ada di chat box, bisa diisi, nanti sertifikat bisa di-download di link Google Drive yang ada di absennya itu ya. Mungkin kita kasih waktu 5 menit untuk mengisi absen ya, setelah itu akan di-close oleh host kita. Thank you, Mr. Azwar. Mr. Azwar ini salah satu gengnya di bahasa sekarang ya, anak-anak ya, biar tahu ya.
Thank you, Bu.
Terima kasih sudah menemani kami pagi hari ini. Thank you Ihsan. Ihsan sudah out dari
Terima
tadi
kasih
karena
sudah dapat
harus.
kesempatan Bu membantu.
Iya. Yes, next time jadi moderator ya.
Siap.
Ya, Ihsan sudah undur diri dari tadi karena harus ke rumah sakit ya tadi ya, Bang. Ya. Sudah semua absennya, nanti silakan Pak Zuar di close dalam 5 menit ya. Terima kasih student semua atas partisipasinya. Jangan lupa tugas-tugas yang diberikan ya. Kita lihat ya.
Nggak usah.